So, gang, here's 4 things that we need to do. First, I want to say thank you for everyone being here. That's important. Second thing I wanted to say, there's 4 things that we need to do today to get the most out of this live. Because this is a live, this is about sharing information. This isn't just me sitting here going, although I do that a lot as well. This is actually about sharing our 4th part in the motivation series. Really, really important. We're going to consolidate everything today, and then you will have 4 hours of in-depth information that I've shared with you guys, hopefully broken down in a way that's accessible. I already know we've had so many successes, we've had so many direct messages of people that are saying that really powerful stuff, like it's genuinely changed their lives. They've taken quite a few steps, people have changed jobs, people have done things, people have moved things, and it's been really amazing. Like, my heart gets proper warm like when people send me those stories. So we know that it's making a significant difference in people's lives, and hopefully today, if it hasn't already made one, it can with you guys. David Lawrence, yes, I'm grateful for just having seen my children for the first time in 4 months. I feel you, man. I feel you, David. Do you know what? It's so key. I had so many times on holiday looking at my little boy Aiden and my wife Claire's pregnant, and just looking at that and just thinking all the years of joy that can happen. And actually, I'll tell you guys very quickly, on the way back we were hoping Aiden was going to nap, my little boy, if you didn't know, but he hasn't. I don't know how. We're in a warm car. Like, I was driving, I was feeling sleepy, do you know what I mean? And he was just sat there going, he's just super overtired. So yeah, the comedy things that can happen with kids. Me and my wife were like, oh, it's going to be a nightmare later, but we couldn't help laughing at him. And his new favourite word is boing. Just saying. He heard some bells at a cathedral and he's just like, mine. So that's his new thing. So I just thought I'd share that. David Lawrence, I feel you. So, gang, here are the 4 things that we need. Number 1 is we want to play full out. Be prepared to be vulnerable and try new things. Obviously, you know, my whole thing is that we just have a lot of fun, and often we're moving our bodies about and we're trying new stuff. I just say jump into it. Quite often, the reason that with Urban Strides we seem to make significant difference in people's lives is because people throw themselves all into it, and it is so different. What we do at Urban Strides is so different. So just go into it, throw yourself into it, and then no one can see you, right? So they don't know what crazy stuff you're doing, so it's all good in the hood. So if we ask you to jump about and do stuff, just join in. I think you'll enjoy it. Number 2, bring energy and commit to taking action. Ultimately, guys, I've spent so many hours putting this stuff together, collating all this different information for different courses that we do, and putting in a load of brand new information, and we've done it completely for free for 4 hours. That's just the presenting time. All the effort before that has been loads. So if you don't use it, it's a waste of time for you and me. So use it, listen, take it on board, put it into action. It's all about the action. Yeah? Okay. Number 3, be present. And also focused. Ensure that you're in a location so you can give your fullest attention to what you're doing. So that's really important, guys. Like, let's get in this, you know what I mean? Number 4, the last one, an open mind. Your brain is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. Bang! You know, I love that one. So here's what we're going to do. Today we're going to be looking into the 3 keys to sustained energy for motivation. This is really important because a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm motivated for like a day, or like, yeah, I'm motivated for like a minute, but they're not really understanding all these different things that we can give you that actually make sure that you stay motivated for a long period of time. Because motivation isn't something that can just come and go. It's something that we can create. People think that we get it, like I feel motivated, like it's something that, you know, like a cold, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, I catch a cold. You don't catch motivation, you create motivation. And that's what the 7 steps that we've got and this 4-part series is all about. It's teaching you how to do it for yourself so you can replicate it on a consistent basis to make sure that whenever things get hit or that they smack you out of left field and you're like, whoa, life just threw me a curveball, what am I going to do about it? You've got enough techniques and tactics and strategies that work that can get you through it. So that's what we're going to do, guys. 3 keys to sustained energy for motivation. So after today's session, you're going to take away ka-ching when you stay till the very end. These are all things you can walk away with. It's going to be exciting. I've got loads. I didn't scroll down on Facebook. I've got loads of gratefuls. Jenny, you haven't changed a bit, mister. I don't know what you want from me, Jen. It's just how I roll. It's just what I haven't. I'll take that as a massive compliment. Grateful for the end of term. Yes, Joe, I feel you. Christina Cameron, grateful for the weather. Shannon Marie Robinson. Yo, Andy. How you doing, Shannon? Good to have you on the live. Amazing. Oh, Instagram. I didn't scroll down either. Look, you got loads. We've got loads of comments on Instagram. Sorry, gang. I wasn't scrolling down. Grateful for the sunny walks with the furry. Ah. That's code for Driz, the beautiful Alsatian. So, gang, after today's session, you're going to take away, number 1, how to get clarity on what to do next. Quite a lot of the time we don't feel motivated, so we don't know actually what we're going to do. So clarity often helps us with purpose. We're going to chat about purpose later. Check it. Number 2, what 3 things to do when you want to quit? Listen, here's the reality. People know me as a positive, motivated person. I am, but I'm human. Shaman, you heard me, shaman. I have needs, I have wants, desires, just like everyone else. The reason I have these techniques and tactics for you is because I study personal growth, development, how can I be better, how can I fulfill my potential constantly. I've been doing it for 20 years. I'm always reading books, I'm doing courses, I'm constantly doing all these different techniques to try and just be the best person I can. I'm absolutely fascinated by it. It's definitely been the biggest contributor to Urban Stride's success, me just trying to learn as much as I can. And a big thing about that is having clarity, so that's going to be key. Oh, sorry, that was about 3 things that you do want to quit. I'm going to give you the 3 answers to that, because what I was going to say was we all have moments we want to quit. I have them too. We all have them, right? And anyone that says you any different, yeah, we might ignore it. We might battle through it. I'm still here, right? I'm still doing my thing with you guys, but we will have moments, and it's about how we cope with those dips and how we rock on. Because when you've got strategies and tactics, they won't drag you down. You know what I mean? It's like getting in a boxing ring when someone hits you. If I could teach you how to dodge and weave, when someone hits you, you're like, ah, ha, ha. Still didn't mean to say that someone didn't try and hit you, but you can dodge and weave. Maybe you can throw a few punches back. Check. Number 3, how to create balanced energy even when you feel tired. Guys, check it. Balanced energy, you know what's going on. I'm going to teach you how to have some for yourself. How to protect your emotional energy. This is super important. Our emotional energy is one of the biggest things that has the capacity to either completely crumble us when we're not emotionally strong with our energy, and also can really make us super buoyant and be one of the superchargers to us achieving a lot. Plus, I'm going to teach you how to kickstart your energy in just 15 seconds. I know, right? All these things are very, very important. So let's start off. I'm going to show you immediately now how you can change that energy. So everyone get up off your batties. Very important. Jump up right now. All you're going to do is shake your hands out like this. We'll do one of my favourite games. It's called the alarm clock. So what you're going to do, right, is you're just going to copy me, okay? It's going to go me, then you. So I'm going to imagine that I'm an alarm clock. So I'm going to go, do-do-do-do. So I'll use my body and everything else about like when your alarm clock starts and it's quiet, right? Or on your phone when it gets louder. So let's try again. Here we go. Do-do-do-do. 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 If you're not up, get up right now. Do it. Wakey, wakey! Okay, good. Hope you feel better. Right, good. Standing in lunge. Start a little jog. Joe, if you're not up, I'm looking straight at you. Get up. Good. David, I know you will be. You might have to just like loosen a couple of buttons. David always works shirts, guys. That's just the way he rolls. Because we're going to get our sweat on. Little bit of a jog. 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woohoo! Okay, let's go this way. Get those arms pumping. Let's do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Amazing. Breath work. Breathe in. Woo! Relax. Okay, big one through your diaphragm. That's in your belly. And then your chest. That's a big breath. Take it in. Take it out. Big breath in again. Breathe it out. Big breath in again. Breathe it out. One more. Breathe it out. Fantastic. That'll hopefully make you feel a little bit energized. We're oxygenating our blood, guys. Guys, I could talk to you about the importance of breathing and how it oxygenates all our ventricles, but we just don't have time for it. You just have to trust me on the science because I've read it. Okay, good. So hopefully you guys are feeling a bit better. So immediately there, we change our energy. If you feel your energy being changed, hit down in the comments and just say, yes, energy change. I'm up. David's just put, I'm up. I'm glad you're here. So, yeah, hit me up. Let me know you're energized. Just put, yep, or say energy, or say feeling better, or whatever it is. Because it's such simple things, guys. We so often give in to stuff. And actually, sometimes we need to get up off our batties and move our bodies. And it has an incredible change of our body and our mind. And things, a lot of us actually know this logically, right? But just because it's common sense doesn't mean to say it's common action, all right? Movement begets movement. That's what's really, really important. So, that's key. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more energized. Let me know in the comments. So, little recap. So if this is your first live, we've done a whole load of stuff before that, but today is going to be very beneficial and hopefully will motivate and inspire you to go and check the other 3 parts because they all work in unison, and they're on YouTube, completely free. Just go and check them on Urban Stride's channel. So there's 7 steps. If you know the 7 steps, start to write them down. Let's see if you can get them out before me. Yeah, we'll see where we're at. Mia on Instagram, I know that you're super on this. So yeah, so if we know it, let's have it up. Bethany Taylor, Sophie join Wave. I'm waving at all of you on Instagram. So 7 steps. Number 1, this is to motivation, right? 7 steps to motivation, to create motivation. Yeah, so to create motivation for yourself. Step number 1, create empowering beliefs, not negative beliefs. I can't do it. It's not right. The people like me don't achieve things like that. We went into episode 2 deep. How to create new empowering beliefs. You need them. If you don't believe you can achieve something, ain't never going to happen. So you have to start with beliefs. Number 2, create a positive state. That's a positive state of being. That's what we just did just now. Moving our physiology, changing how we feel, right? And how do we change how we feel? We change our energy levels. You'll find that when you're more energized, you generally feel more positive, okay? So, number 3, know your drivers. So your drivers, why are you doing stuff? Like, it's all well and good saying, I want to be motivated to do X, but why? I remember when I was younger, I did A-level English literature, right? And I was like, I'm going to read like all the classics when I finish. And I didn't. There's only one I read, which is 1984, after the fact that when I did my A-levels, I had to read a whole load of stuff. After that, because you know what? It didn't really interest me. That's the honest answer. But I had this lofty idea, but I didn't know what my drivers were. I didn't have drivers at that point, right? I didn't understand it. So it didn't happen. So know your drivers. Number 4, identify your resources. What do you need to get, to learn, to have in order to achieve what you want? That's quite practical. Number 5, whatever it is, you need to schedule it. Trust me, when you schedule it, you'll get it done. Number 6, once it's done, you have to celebrate it. Whoop, 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 whoop. I done it, I done it, I done it. That's the good. Self-proud. And number 7, you need to share it. Really important. Just share it with people, the right people. You know who I'm talking about. The people that will pat you on the back and go, listen, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you for doing that. Not the ones that be like, well done. Like you think you're something special. Not that person. And if that person is rocking around in your kind of lexicon, as in your world, you might just want to take some steps, you know what I mean, to just, okay, that's a whole nother set of lives. So gang, so what we're going to talk about today, section 1, very, 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 very important. We're going to talk about the 3 types of energy. This is key. Joe on Facebook just said, thanks, David is now running around our living room. Get in! That's because he's a doer. That's why he succeeds. Bam! Fantastic. I'm loving that. You have no idea how much joy that brings me, Joe and David. Amazing. So, guys, let's break it down, right? Because we talk about energy a lot, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions about it. So, the way I like to explain it, okay, is that there's 3 kind of types of energy. There's physical, mental, and there's emotional, right? And I'm just going to share a little story with you if you try and put this across. I actually read this in a paper a couple of years ago, and I did a bit more research on it and found out it was a very, very fascinating situation. You had a doctor, right, a scientist, who was talking about the fact that we have these 3 different types of energy, and actually people don't realize, but emotional and mental energy can drain you just as much as physical. And because the way that we are in our world, we seem to think, oh, only when you've run a marathon can you be tired, and only when you've lifted a load of bricks or whatever it is, right? But that's not the case. We can get incredibly emotionally drained, especially if we're giving that emotional energy to help people or just to support ourselves, right? And also mentally, okay, these 3 energy levels can have the capacity to completely deplete us, so we have to treat them equally and with as much respect. It's really important, guys. Why do you think that we're having such issues with mental health at the moment? It's because we're not understanding enough about how we work in our mind and our brains. That's what a lot of this stuff I'm trying to help you guys with. It's really, really important. So this little story, right? You had a doctor, okay, who was putting this theory forward, and you had a very, very cynical journalist, right? The journalist was like, I don't really know about this, I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm reading this article, and the beginning part of the article was like, basically, this is journalist speaking, I don't think this is true, you know, very cynical, didn't really want to believe it. So anyway, turned up, right, and this facility is near a wood, okay, there's little wood, little copse with some trees, they can go for a walk. And the doctor meets him outside, and the guy's already, you can tell he's a little bit backing off with it, he's not really feeling it. And the doctor just says, listen, before we start, should we just take a walk? Journalist goes, yeah, okay, right, no problem. Starts to take a walk, they start to walk. And as they're walking through the forest, the doctor says to him, I just want to check a couple of things in my research. Can I just ask you a few questions? And the journalist goes, yeah, sure. I can use it in my article. So as they're walking down the forest, right? And the doctor turns around and says, what's 2 plus 2? The journalist keeps walking and goes, 4. Goes, okay. What's 8 plus 8? 16. Okay. What's 4,297 divided by 19? Journalist stops. Brain starts to think about it. Turns out journalist wasn't great at maths. Like, he gave an answer, it wasn't right. And the doctor turned to him and he said, that's it. Journalist said, I don't understand what you mean. He said, why did you stop walking? Journalist sat there and thought, I don't know, why did I? The thing is, he needed his energy for his cognition. He needed everything to stop and he needs to focus his energy on it. When it's 2 plus 2 or 8 plus 8, you don't. And that is one of the best examples I can give you to show you that we have to look after all 3 of them. Now, you look after your physiology and your physical first, that will have a massive impact in your mental and emotional. Quite often we decide to go to mental first or emotional, especially when we've got issues, and sometimes we need to get up. You will know this, whether you guys have had a challenge in life and actually you've gone and taken a walk, or you've done some exercise, or you've played a sport, or you've done something that's taken your mind, or played an instrument, or sung, taken your mind into a different space, you felt better afterwards. If you felt that, just say yes. I think that's really key. So true. Kiri Golding's on here. Come on, Kiri. We've got the teacher training mafia right in here. Loving that, Kiri. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? This is the whole thing. So, here's the thing. Okay, let's start again. In terms of these three things, we need to do some basics, right? We need to make sure that we have like the right sleep, nutrition, and exercise. That's really important. If we're not looking after our bodies, it's very difficult to get energy. But there's one thing that can really drive us, no matter what our physical state is, no matter what our emotional or mental state is. And there's one thing that affects all three of them positively. Anyone know what it is? Write down if you've got an idea. Tom Jones, deep biting, yum yum. Those of you that don't know, biting is a street dance term that we use that happens like this on the end of a cipher. It means when someone's like taking someone else's move. So that's Tom. So those of you who are like, what's Tom biting? I'm just getting a bit of street dance culture knowledge right there. So where are we? Yes, so what three affects us positively? If you've got an idea, put it down. If not, don't worry about it. It's not a quiz. Hi, Sam Smith. Sam Smith's here, guys. Here's the three things that affect us positively, right? On those energy levels: physical, emotional, and mental. It's purpose. Think about it. There is a time in your life where you have felt like you haven't wanted to move forward. You've been like exhausted, strung out. You just haven't wanted to do it. And there's other times in life where you've been so driven, you don't know how you managed to get the energy, but you've done it. I did it in the last couple of months. I don't know how I did it. We did a Young Voices tour, which I absolutely adore. It's my Young Voices family right here. David Lawrence, my man, right? I feel inspired. A lot of you guys see the shows, right, that are on here on Instagram and Facebook, I know. It just makes me feel fantastic. But the hours are long and it's a challenge, and we're travelling all up and down the country. And it's definitely a drain on me physically, mentally and emotionally. As well as being uplifting and inspiring, it takes a lot of energy. But the thing is, I'm living what I call my purpose. I want to try and motivate and inspire and empower people to live their fullest potential. And I love doing that through music and dance. It's exactly what we do at Young Voices with the singing and with a bit of dance we do. And that's exactly what we do at Urban Strides, where obviously we just do the street, well, not just do, but we focus on the street dance. So that's one of the things. And after the tour, right, I then went on, I think it was 6 or 7 weeks, because over the weekends I was working as well, doing some other stuff. And then I did, I filmed some grade exams, doing a brand new set of authentic street dance grade exams, which is super exciting, which we're going to be launching soon. For about 2 weeks, I had barely a day off. And then I had my friend Brooklyn Terry, pioneer street dance, flew over from Japan, spent some time with me. And I think I worked it out. In like 3 months, I think I'd taken 2 days off. And here's the thing though, I was driven. I was ready for it. I had adrenaline. Because you know what? All of those things, filming the grade exams, hanging out with my boy Terry, doing the Young Voices, they all fit in line with my purpose, right? My energy. And it's interesting because when I was younger, my mum always used to say to me, she was like, Andy, you're doing so much, you need to relax, you need to chill out. And it's only as I got older and I studied it that I realised that we actually only really get tired doing more of the stuff that we don't want to do. When we do more of the stuff that we want to do, that drives us forward. So one of the biggest things about energy is ask yourself, are you doing more of the things that you want to be doing? Because we mainly get tired from doing the things that don't fit our purpose from the things that do. Do more of the stuff that fits your purpose, you'll find more drive and energy. Alicia, you're here. I don't know how your brain carry on functioning during all of that, because I'm creating energy, Alicia. That's what's going on. Oh, I think she was talking about the filming. Yeah, it was madness. But that's the thing, guys. Like, Alicia's just talking about how the fact that, you know, I did that 3 months. But honestly, it is. It's when you love what you do and you've got purpose with it. That's what's key. And listen, not everyone's going to love their job. Totally get that, right? But what you can love aspects of it, and you can love aspects of what you do in your own personal life as well. That's really important. Izzy, you went to Young Voices and you love our videos. Please notice me. I just have Izzy24_. Big love. Yeah, that is a massive contributor to his purpose. And I said before, you must have experienced in time in your life when you've achieved something incredible, like, and you didn't even know how you did it. And then other times when you just like couldn't be bothered, you're like, meh. That's the can't be bothered face. Meh. And you just can't be bothered. It's because often the purpose isn't there. So what have I got here? James Page Shatton. That's my brother. It's my brother from another mother. Amen to the energy comment. Never get tired of doing things you love. Yes. See, we've been friends for 20 years. Met at school, but because we had that same connection and that mindset about doing what we love and what we're passionate about, we do it now, and that's why we're still boys. Amazing. Oh, we've got Jenny Bramley in here. Watch out. Maddie Chris doing mashup face. Maddie was at the shoot. It was crazy. Right, gang, let's stay back on track. So, yes, I just said lack of energy usually comes from doing too many things not around your purpose, not from doing too many things. So I'll say that again. From doing too many things not around your purpose, not from doing too many things. You do a lot of stuff like I do, but it's around what you love and what you want to achieve and what you want to do and what makes you happy. Shating! You can be working your butt off and it's all good. So, I want to make sure I stick to this. Here's the thing. Yes, and here's the other thing as well. Sometimes we don't feel energized enough to find out our purpose. Some of you might be sitting here now thinking, oh, Andy, you're so lucky to be doing what you're doing. Absolutely, I am super fortunate to be lucky to do what I'm doing. But I've also put work in for it. Yeah, I've also dreamt it and had creative visualization and decided to take a path and made some positive choices. Also made some mistakes along the way, but ultimately I've wanted to do it and I've driven forward. And that means you can too. I think that's really important that you guys all understand that. The reason I share all this knowledge is I think sometimes people turn around and they just kind of go, if they've achieved success in their life or whatever, but they kind of just go, oh yeah, and they just like, they permeate this idea, right, that people are special. No. People aren't special. We just make choices. And when I say people aren't special, of course we're special in our own way, like I say to Aiden all the time. I'm a special boy. But we're all special as humans, right? All of us are. But what makes us be able to achieve what we want to be able to achieve is the fact that we go for it, that we realise that we can do it. And that's all I want to share with you now, because I can tell you this much right now. There is nothing special about me. I am Mr. Ordinary, nothing special at all. I just put the work in, followed through, listened a lot to my teachers and mentors, and that's it. There's no rocket science to it. So that's why I'm trying to share all this with you, so that you guys can, you know, enjoy that happiness for yourself as well. I'm sure you all do already, but I'm just trying to help you with that. So yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sometimes we don't feel energized enough to figure our purpose, and it becomes a vicious cycle because we can't be bothered. We don't want to. We don't think, oh, do you know what? I need to do some really like intrinsic looking at myself and how I operate and ask myself some difficult questions. We just go, oh no, I'm just going to go and, you know, grab a chocolate bar or flick on Netflix or just look on my phone, because we don't want to ask some of the difficult questions. And so sometimes that is a vicious circle that we need to break, which is what we're going to talk about right now. So here's the thing, when we feel that and we feel maybe that we haven't even got the energy to look at our purpose or whatever, what is the quickest way to energize yourself? Anyone know the quickest way of energizing yourself? Yes, very, very important. Mel just said it's important to be energetic. It's about timing, it's what you eat. Yeah, absolutely. The energy is the key thing. Here's the answer, guys. Quickest way to energize yourself is move. So come on, get up if you're about to. Shake your arms. Shake them up. Shake them down, march on the spot. Big knees up. This is just so simple to do, isn't it? Push, push, push. Whew. That's it. Just move your body a bit. Now already you're going to feel a little bit more energized than you were 10 seconds ago. You know why? Because you got up. You generated what we call serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone in your body. Why? Because you moved it. It's such a simple thing to do, gang. So that's what I've been doing. And listen, on every live, think about it. Why have, hopefully, we stayed so engaged and energized throughout the lives, and you've wanted to stay to the end? It's because it doesn't feel like an hour. We've got so many messages from people saying, oh, I watched your live. I can't believe that was an hour, because we change our energy. And when we change our energy, that gives us more stamina because we want to carry on. How many times have you sat at a desk and dropped your head down and, oh, I don't want to be here? Listen, guys, I can do all day at a desk if I have to do some, like, you know, Urban Strides, creative director, business ownership, or on a laptop. But you know what? Every 50 minutes, I get up, I do 10 minutes exercise movement, where every shape my body out, and I change my body, my physiology, yeah, your physical state. Because when you change your physiology, as in the chemicals around your physiology, they have the biggest impact on your emotional and your mental well-being. Stats and science. So, gang, energy begets energy. That's the key thing. Is that when you want to have energy, you need to create it. You need to be it. You need to be the energy that you want to have. And when we change our physiology, as I said, it has the biggest impact. And I want to say as well, action is almost always the answer to everything when it comes to your growth, development, and therefore your level of success. quite often people think about their dreams and, oh, I want to do this, but it's all up in here. Yes, listen, I use creative visualization. I think about what I want to achieve a lot, but you know what? I get up off my batty and I do stuff. It's really important that we actually physicalize it. I say on our teacher training course, it's a 10-day course that is super intense, right? And I always say to my teachers, because there's moments when they're tired and exhausted, Kiri will tell you that, and the reason they get so empowered and motivated and inspired at the end of the course is we show them how when they're in these moments of being in a what we call a poor state of mind, poor state of being, their brain's not working as well, actually, how do they change that? They get physically active, they energize themselves, and suddenly your brain starts to work stuff out. The science behind it is massive. I haven't got to go all of it now, but hopefully from doing some of the lives and me showing you some of the studies from previous lives, you've seen some of the science and realized that actually that is one of the keys. Aiden's going to bed without a nap. It might kick off. He didn't have a nap today. Amazing. Izzy, can I join your live? I would absolutely love you to, but here's the thing, guys. Izzy, I'm on like a serious time issue, so I've got to crack on. Look at all the stuff I need to cover, Izzy. Loads of information. If it wasn't for that, you could be on the live right now. But maybe we do another live when we just do chat and stuff. But right now, it's information I think so for everyone. Okay, good. Glad that we got that covered. Okay, so it's the same thing with I help a lot of people. Sometimes students of ours, obviously mental health is on the rise, with anxiety issues, and so much of it is around changing physicality, guys. We've got stories and stories of students that have had depression, mental health issues, anxiety, and a lot of the time it's multifaceted what we do, and it covers a lot of different things, but one of the biggest things we start with is physicalizing, guys, because here's the thing, just to give you a little brief insight into it. We as humans, right, we are built, okay, to move. That's how we're built, to hunt. There's a little part in your brain called the amygdala, all right, and that deals with fear in your brain. I read a study, because I'm always geeking up, just the other day that talked about when people talk about going for a walk, right, why it works is because when we're moving forward, the amygdala realizes we're moving forward, therefore we're having forward motion, therefore we have nothing to fear, we're moving forward. I'm not talking about running and looking over your shoulder, that's a different feeling. I'm talking about striding purposefully and moving forward. It's like a metaphor for life. And the reason is that they've done studies on how your brain reacts to things like walking. And a similar thing happens when we exercise as well. So, yeah, a lot of it is about controlling your brain, man. You can control that, you can do anything that you want. So, yeah, hopefully that makes sense, talking about going for a walk. Yeah, I just got that science study just there. Because we're moving forward, it's showing the amygdala we're not afraid. Absolutely. Also, just want to say as well, if we're talking about energy, one of the biggest things with emotional and mental energy is meditation. They did a study on it. I believe it was at Harvard, but it might have been Yale, where they did a study on meditation for 8 weeks, and they found out that the people that did it for 8 weeks had better concentration, which, let's face it, if you can learn how to concentrate better, that helps you with everything. We always get distracted, and because of phones, we're even more distracted at the moment. So the meditation actually helped that, and over the 8-week period, not only did it help cognition, as in how you think, but what it also did is it reduced, would you believe, okay, the size of the amygdala, right, which creates the fear response, which is cray. So it physically reduces that bit of your brain, what we call the monkey brain, that goes, hi, here's some negative things, listen to me. It physically reduces it through meditation. Cray. So here's the point, guys. A lot of these techniques, they're scientifically proven to help you, which is important. Fab. So yeah, and just as well, say as well about energy, it all comes down to personal responsibility. So often, right, we're not achieving things, or we're not motivated, we start blaming ourselves. We start blaming other people. We're like, it's their fault. But what I've always said is that when you point a finger of blame at someone, look at the 3 fingers that are pointing back at you. At some point, you need to get off your butt. At some point, you need to do stuff. Why have I done this live? Because I wanted to put all the information out there that when you watch lives from 1 to 4, you get all the information that you need, that's scientifically backed up, and real techniques and tactics that will transform how you feel and what you manage to achieve, and to help you get motivated. That is the whole point. So we haven't got any more excuses, because people love excuses. I do the same thing on my teacher training course, guys. I have a 4-hour free seminar, because so many people say, oh, they don't know this or that about street dance. I'm like, don't worry about it, come along to a free seminar. There's no excuses then. And then people make up even more excuses. Well, I can't come to a free event, which could cost us hundreds of pounds, or we could charge hundreds of pounds to put on, because of the value in it. People have said that when they come, but we've done it for free because it's like calling people out. It's like, if we put it in for free, are you going to come then? Oh, well, no, maybe it's like getting there takes so long, and then you really get to find out. Because when you take all the excuses away from someone, you get to find out what the real deal is. So here's the deal. We're gonna have a dance break. Whoop, whoop. After the dance break, I'm gonna give you my top 5 tips, okay, about how to stay motivated. So we're gonna start to bring together everything. Really tangible there, guys. Top 5 tips based on some of the stuff that I've done before, but we brought it all together. Plus the top 3 questions that we asked on Instagram and Facebook, which are really, really important. So I'm going to answer. Do people find it easy to self-motivate? I'll give you the stat on whether they do or don't. Plus, I'm going to tell you, if you don't, how to help you. I'm going to help you to make sure you're not easily distracted. I'll tell you this right now, 90% of people that did this poll on Facebook and Instagram, 90% say we're easily distracted. I'll tell you how to overcome that. And do you feel motivated during lockdown is one of the questions. 37% so they didn't feel motivated. I'm going to help you with that as well. So those are the 3 big questions that I'm going to do, and I'm going to answer them. Plus, we're going to go into my top 5 tips. Right, we just talked about changing energy and how important it is. So, get up off your butts. I've got a little tune for you. We're just going to do some grooving, gang. Now, listen, some of you are going to be like super pro dancers. Some of you might not have done it before. So, all I'm going to do some real easy basic movement and just move your bodies with me. And you know what? If you want to do your own thing, do your own thing. The reason that we're changing our energy and we're doing this because everything that I've already explained in the science before. We're going to generate more of our serotonin. We're going to give our brain, by taking our brain focusing on music, our subconscious brain is going to be working on some of the other questions that we talked about, which is really important as well. And it's just good to have a little bit of a brain break. So let's get busy. Here we go. Give it a little bounce. Relax. Relax your chest. That's it, just relax your body here. Come up to the knees. That's it, to the knees. I know you can't really see my knees there, but hopefully you get by and walk through. And then maybe a little twist. Little twist. That's it. Little roll up and a little twist. 2 roll ups. 4 twists. 2 roll ups. Twist. And again, roll up. Twist. And roll up. Twist. 4 roll up. Use your arms a bit if you want. Twist. Little groove. Take it up. Little twist. Woo! Twist. Press the head. Bring the knee up. Push your hands up. Right. Just move your body however you want. And just let your arms flow. Imagine you're at a party. That's it. Let your elbows work. Keep your elbows high. Party vibe. Take it down a bit. Take it up a bit. Nice! Oh, another remix just jumping on there. Oh, are we feeling better? Are we feeling better? Let me know. Let me know if we're feeling better. Hopefully feel more energized, more vibey. So gang, pretty key right now. We're gonna get on with the hardcore. So, 5 tips I was gonna give you. So these are my 5 top tips for how to create your energy. Really, really important, how to create your energy, okay? So 5 top tips for creating more energy. There we go. Tip number 1, meditation, okay? Here's why. I mentioned before about the study that shows improved concentration, and here's the important thing about that is that means you can focus on whatever it is. So whatever task you've got to do, whatever thing you want to enjoy, you want to achieve. Plus, the other thing as well about meditation is that I found this personally, having meditated for nearly 20 years, a long time, is it also really helps with your emotional state, because if you can work on your concentration, quite often the reason that we feel unhappy is that we focus on the things that make us unhappy, right? So a situation, a relationship, whatever it is, we focus on that. And by meditating, we get to be able to control our mind to an extent where we can focus or concentrate on something else. Because we know what happens, don't we? When we try and do something else and we have a situation here, our mind always gets pulled back to it. Whereas when we meditate, we really become a lot more in control of where we focus our attention. Dr. Gail Brenner said that our happiness is based on where we focus our attention. And that is so true. So you focus your attention on the difficulty, the challenge, the negative, the anxiety, all of those things, you're just going to create more of it. So by meditating, you're going to give yourself that ability to be able to control your mind and be able to focus it so much more. It's like going to the gym. You'll become fitter in your mind. Number 2, so first one I'm going to say is number 2, reduce news input. This is why this is so important. There's a study done. This is about a 10-year-old study, okay? So, but I think it's still quite right. And actually, if you did the study now, I think we'd be horrified to what it is. But there's basically a study that was said that during good economic times, okay, which now is not, there is 1 positive story for every 4 negative, right? In poor economic times, there's 1 positive to every 8 negative. So even in the best of times, only 25% of what you're reading is going to be positive. And right now, going through a pandemic, oh my goodness, all you've got to do is scroll through. You think about all the negativity, it is massive. And then every now and then you get these little nuggets. It's like, wow, that's beautiful, that's joyous. But there's been so much negativity. So, yeah, reducing news input. This is what's really important. Yeah, I can't say it any clearer than that. Obviously, we've got to get news if you think that's important to your life and what you're doing. But I would just check your sources, and you might not have to do it as regularly as you need to. Sweet. So, thanks, Mia. Big lovage. So, number 3, don't check messages or social media for the first hour of your day. So, with your social media, quite often, when we look at social media, right, in the morning first thing, that immediately puts us in the back foot. We become reactive, and in life we want to be proactive. So we'll look at it and there might be a message, right? And it might be a message you'll be like, oh, I don't know, or someone's maybe asked if you're free and you're like, oh wait a minute, I need to find out if I'm free from someone else, or maybe someone's asked you a difficult question or whatever. But what you're doing is you're getting caught up in someone else's agenda and what you're trying to do in your life. And trust me, that is not a happy way to be. So I would suggest not looking at social media messages, emails for at least the first hour of your day. Get up, move your body, have a shower, make yourself some breakfast if you eat breakfast in the morning. Do some kind of movement. It could be a workout, or it could just be moving your body. It could be putting some music on. Get yourself mentally and physically prepared, okay, in the right state of mind. Because remember, in a positive state, we make the right choices. Better state of mind and body, better choices. Poor state of mind and body, poor choices. It's as simple as that. And we've all done it. People have made poor choices when they've been in a bad place, and they look back and live to regret it. We don't want that. We want to make sure that we're in a good place so we can make good choices. That's really important. So yeah, don't check social messages the first hour of the day. I can tell you right now, there's been about, I think it's 6 or 7 senior crew members that have done this. They said it's made a dramatic improvement to their happiness and their vibe and what they've achieved during the day. Number 4, go for a walk in nature. I mentioned earlier the science behind how it affects our brain when we're moving forward. It's really, really important. Jim Staffray is here. Good to see you, Jim Staffray. Walking forward, really, really important. So walk in nature. This is one of my favourite ones. I love it. When I did some choreography this year for the Young Voices tour, I took my headphones and I just walked. I'll go and drive and I walk by the river. I walk, try and get woods. I try and get in nature as much as I can. And it just brings everything into perspective, man. It just really helps me creatively, and just, yeah, it's a fantastic thing. So I'd really recommend that. Yes, whoop whoop, Jim Starfrayer. So number 5, move. It's so simple. Exercise, dance. Connection with music is spiritual, guys. Like, it goes way, 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 way back. You know, you look at the first origins of music and dance. It's cavemen and women days, like tens of thousands of years ago, like so far away. It's just that whole thing of movement is just, it's just in us. It's just in us. So dance obviously is my big thing. But just move your body. It can be exercise. Whatever it is, but move your bodies. You need to change your physiology, because remember, when you change your physiology, you change your energy, which changes your emotional state, or at least gives you the energy to be able to then go and change your emotional state, whether that's go and meditate, whether that's go and think about a problem, whatever it is. Okay, so the physicality comes first. And the last thing I would just say as well, there are my five top tips to maintain energy. And trust me, if you do all of those five, meditate, number one. Number two, reduce news input. Number three, don't check messages on social media for the first hour of your day. 4, walk in nature. And 5, move, exercise, dance. If you do those 5, trust me, you're going to be in a better state to go and achieve what you want, which is what this is all about. It's about how to motivate yourself. And the one thing I would say is that I think if you're on this live right now, or if you're watching it another time, you're someone that understands that they want to grow, that they want to develop, and they understand that actually, really, if you want to achieve a lot in life, you really need to grow. That's one of the key things. There's I can't remember who said it, but there was one of my teachers who talked about something called ROSE, which is rate of self elevation. So or evolution, the rate of self evolution. So you ask yourself, how much am I growing? Yeah, how much am I really investing into my growth and my development? Because when you grow, things tend to get better. Your relationships, what you achieve, everything around you. So focusing on that is really, really important. And so if you're on this, you're watching this, I know that you're someone that cares about bettering themselves. Obviously, you won't be watching it, right? So you're kind of like more of what I call like the overachievers. Probably want to get things done more in life. There's probably a whole load of people that may be super unmotivated that actually desperately need to see this but might never get to, and that's just the nature of how often these things work in life. But the reason that I'm saying that is that because you guys are probably slightly leaning on the overachiever vibe, Lils, you came back. Love that you came back even though your phone died. One of the things that I would say is quite often, it's my wife that's really good at this with me, is that when you do feel like a lack of energy, I've just spent the whole live giving you all these different techniques for energy, right, and the science behind it. But when you do have a moment of lack of energy, ask yourself a very simple question. Am I being complacent? Yeah? So actually, am I being a bit lazy? Can I actually get off my butt and do it? Or do I need to be compassionate? I'll say that again. Am I being complacent? Do I need to be compassionate? So do I need to go upstairs and just run a bath and just chill and have an early night and just, you know, not do that thing and watch Netflix? Do I need to do that? Or actually, have I been sat on my butt for the last month watching Netflix and I haven't got anything done? So only you can answer that question. So I'll say that again. Are you being complacent or do you need to be compassionate? Really, really important when you do that. And I want that as a little caveat because all the things I've talked about is how to generate your energy. But I want to make sure that you understand that you guys get a bit of that balance as well. Although one thing that I would share with you is one of my observations is that we're probably never really doing as much as we could be doing. You know what I mean? There's so much we can do and achieve and be in life. So much. So there you go. So gang, Q&A time! Q&A! I feel like she come with the jingle. Bling, 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 ska-bling, ka-bling. No, it was a pencil on a mug. I thought it was going to go ding! It didn't. That's what happens when you're on live, guys. I should have prepped my music. Welcome to the Q&A! There you go. So, the first question that we've got, we asked this of everybody because I wanted to make sure I was answering questions that are important. And by the way, if you have any questions, this last part of the live is for me to ask them. So if you've done all 4 parts of the live, or if you just joined just now and you want to ask a question about motivation, write it down. This is your one chance to ask me anything that you want, yeah, about motivation. That's really, really important. I'll say motivation because obviously, you know, we can talk about loads of different things, but I want to stay on topic. So make sure that you put down in either lives if you've got questions. In the meantime, I'm going to answer the ones that I've got here. So, first question, do people find it easy to self-motivate? 49% said no. Guys, that's nearly half said no, they don't. They need someone else to do it for them. So the question is, do you find it easy to self-motivate? Okay. 49% said no, they don't. They said that they need other people to motivate them, right? So that's a lot. 51% said they're self-motivated. So you're talking basically half and half. So a lot of people are self-motivated, and a lot of people that aren't self-motivated looking at the self-motivated and go, how can I do that? And here's the deal, is that, and of course at times they swap. Just because you're motivated today doesn't say you're going to be motivated tomorrow. And just because you're not motivated today does not mean you can't be motivated tomorrow. Remember that, okay? The future's whatever you want it to be, as long as you're willing to take the steps and put the work in. That's really important. So, I think the biggest reason why people find it difficult to self-motivate, there's many different reasons. And actually, if you watch all the lives so far on the 7 steps, they'll give you a really solid, deep answer that will help you. But just to recap, the biggest thing for me is why, and I covered it today, the purpose. Like, why should I go and do that? You know, I need to wash the car. Why? You know, I need to go and help my nan with the groceries. Why? Well, if you talk about wash your car, you need to talk about narratives. We did it last week. Think about why you're going to wash the car. Is it because actually you realise that having a clean car is quite nice for people to be able to see, and it gives you a sense of pride? And actually you want to represent yourself in the world as someone that takes care of things and appreciates it. And also, if you wash your car, you're going to help maintain it. It's going to be better for the paintwork. If you leave dirt and grime on there, it's not going to work. You see, already I've just explained to you guys some narratives. That's the thing. We often don't have enough narratives. Check out episode number 3 about narratives and push and pull. That's really, really important. The other thing is it with alignment of your purpose or your character? When I said before about helping Nan out, if you're the kind of person that says, I want to be someone that helps other people, I want to be someone that makes their life and other people's lives a better place to be, I want to be the kind of person that empowers people to do great things, and I want to be someone that does nice things for people because it's nice to help people and be kind. So if you have that story running in your head about that's who you want to be, you're more likely to go and achieve it. So the biggest thing that I would say with that is a lot of people that don't find it self-motivate, we've got negative belief patterns running around. I can't do it, I can't achieve it. The drivers aren't there, why should I do it? And again, check out episode 3 for that, and episode 2 for beliefs as well. And also, they're not generating enough energy. As we just said, get up, move yourself, yeah? One of the things that I learned, and I think one of the reasons why I got so fascinated about this subject and really bringing it together for you guys now, is having had a baby and knowing that you go for months and months and months and months and months and months and months without any sleep. As I said before, I couldn't let that affect me, because sleep is really important, by the way, to your health. I just want to say that to everybody. But I knew that I still had to get up and do jobs and still do things. And one of the things that I told myself was, I listened to a Navy SEAL podcast. I listened to a dude who's a Navy SEAL. Like, these dudes are like some of the most self-disciplined people on the planet. And one of the things that this dude said that just really struck me, he said, a SEAL will do it right away. And now what I just want to mean by that is I was always the person that, like, especially with home stuff, I wasn't that bothered. Like, I'll do the dishes tomorrow, I'll do that tomorrow, whatever. But actually, having had a baby, you can't do that. You got to wash the bottle up because it won't be clean for later. And really doing it, just doing it, getting up off my butt, even though I might be tired and exhausted, but just doing it, just getting on with it. Shut up, don't talk about it, don't go, I'll do it later. Just get up and do it. Before you know it, you're walking over to the kitchen, washing those bottles out so that, you know, we can use them later for milk or whatever. So just remember that moving yourself physically is key. So I think that's why a lot of people find it, they don't find it easy to self-motivate, that they can't do it, they have to look for other people. And one of the other reasons as well is that they haven't got any techniques and tactics. So if you know people, or you feel it's like yourself at the moment, and you haven't gone back and checked out the lives, do. And if you have been watching all the lives and you still haven't taken action, watch them over and over until you do. This is so important. There's no point in this whole live experience being like a hot tub moment. What I mean by a hot tub moment is you go in a hot tub and go, that was nice, and then you walk out of it. You don't sit there and go, guys, I've got a great story. 2 years ago I was in a beautiful hot tub. It's gone. This is not what this is. This is about to help inspire and motivate you and give you the techniques, guys. I've given you proper tactics that you can take away. So, yeah, if you're not doing it, keep watching the lives until you do. It will sink in. A whole lot of people that have taken action from the lives have already seen significant differences in their lives already, and they've messaged us for it. So we know it works. So just do it. And if you don't know where to start, rewatch and watch the lives, and we'll tell you exactly where to start because we go through our 7-step process. It's that simple. Just follow the process. It's easy. So, number 2, do you find yourself getting easily distracted? Do you find yourself getting easily distracted? 70%, oh, J&T Instabros, can you do a Q&A? We're doing it right now. Ask me a question and I'll see if I can answer it if we've got time. Do yourself getting distracted? 90% said yes. This is an insane amount. And it just goes to show one of the biggest things is the phone. The phone is one of the biggest distractors because when it pings out with Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, email, whatever it is, right? It's constantly tugging us away from what we're doing. And every time we sit and look at it, we're basically programming our mind to say, yes, you should be distracted because every time your phone pings or a notification goes off, we should watch it. You're training your brain in the wrong way, guys. So no, it doesn't surprise me. That's 90%, 9 out of 10. And the biggest thing has to be down to the phone. It's really, really key. So here's a couple of tactics. I actually did this in one of my lives before the motivation series. If you want to go check out the lives previously before the motivation ones, they're on YouTube. I've got a tactic that I learned in a book, very simple one. 10-minute rule. This is really, really key. So basically what it means is that when you feel like you're going to get distracted, set your alarm for 10 minutes and carry on doing what you're doing. And you can tell yourself, you know what, I'm not going to give into that distraction now, whether it's to go and watch telly or check your phone or go and, you know, get something from the fridge, whatever it is. Just give yourself 10 minutes, right? Okay, to carry on with the task in hand. Okay. Now the reason this is so important is, number one, it teaches you delayed gratification, which is the underpinning to self-discipline. If we can put things off and delay the gratification of the chocolate bar or watching the telly or looking at your phone, we start to get a certain amount of control over what we can do, because that's ultimately what it's about. It's about having the control to not check your phone or not get distracted. That's what we're trying to build. We're trying to build the muscle of self-discipline. So you set yourself a timer for 10 minutes, okay, and you look at that timer, you set the timer and you carry on with your task. And in 10 minutes, that alarm will go off, right? And go, and you think, right, I did 10 minutes. But here's the thing, by giving yourself that 10 minutes, you'll get back into the task, and it's highly unlikely you'll want to go and do that distraction after 10 minutes. Okay? So that's a 10-minute challenge, and it really works. I've done that before myself, and it is an absolute corker. And the other thing as well is turn your phone off when you're trying to do something. It's so important. Or at least if you need your phone, turn notifications off. Just turn them off, man. It's I hold some of my students like phones up, and it's not like they've got like 1 million Instagram followers, but they're on Instagram or Snapchat and just constant stream. Like, turn it off. You be in control of how you communicate with people. Yeah, don't let the world tell you. You need to be able to control what you're doing. Otherwise, it'll just get crazy. So there's my 2 techniques: turn your phone off. And also, or turn notifications off, and the 10-minute rule. What I'd also say as well is that when you've got a really driven purpose and you really care about it, aka drivers, step number 3 in the 7-step process, when we have drivers, okay, we don't want to be distracted because we're so driven on what we want to achieve, because it means so much to us. So that was a key thing. So overcoming distraction, I would say the answer is in all these 4 hours of lives. Go and watch them, because if you find yourself getting easily distracted, it's not just one quick fix. It's not a quick tactic. Often, real deep change comes from deep learning and deep action. So, do you feel motivated during lockdown? 37% of people said no. It doesn't surprise me at all. One of the things is we talked about purpose. Think about what's happened. Loads of people haven't been able to do their GCSEs, exams at school. So if you've been like, you're younger and you're going to do your GCSEs, and suddenly you can't do them anymore, where's your purpose for that? It's been really difficult. And not just people doing GCSEs, A-levels, degrees. People have lost their jobs. It's been really difficult. So a lot of the time, with that purpose gone, a lot of that motivation goes. So we need to go back, look at our 7-step process, make sure that we've got our beliefs about what we want to achieve, our drivers, and also looking at our purpose. Who do we want to be? Why do we want to be that person? What do we want to achieve? Our purpose underpins everything. And I said before, I use purpose and narratives around doing something really straightforward, because I know that it works. So even though you might feel a bit crazy, kind of going, wow, I built this whole thing up. I told you on drivers last week about me giving up caffeine, and how I take this insane story that if I didn't give up caffeine, in years and years and years, my life would be a mess. And I went through all of that. If you want to see that, you can check out episode 3. But it works. So the purpose is key. So gang, here's the answer as well for that one, as well as what I just said. I just want to share with you as well, is ask yourself the belief in terms of the lack of purpose, which is due to lack of motivation. I believe the lack of motivation is because we don't have as much purpose. So if you believe you can or you can't, remember we've got our 3-step focus with belief. We shared it in part 2, so do go and check the video. The 3 steps for changing a belief is identify the belief that could be negative, reframe it in your way so it's positive, and reinforce it with celebration and success. Are we driven? You're not going to be motivated if you're not driven, if you haven't got a purpose. So make sure that you have your push and pull narratives. You're running towards success and you're running away from pain. That's really, really important. And ask yourself, are you in the right state? Are you energized? Are you moving your body? Guys, if you go back over those lives and you follow those 7 steps, create empowering belief, make sure you're in the right state, create those positive drivers, find out what the resources are, then you get to go and celebrate it when you do it. Where am I? 7. I had a brain fart. Schedule it, sorry, is number 5. 6 is celebrate it. 7 is share it. So they're the 7 steps, gang. I've got 30 seconds to go. I just want to... Oh, Kiri, yes, I turned notifications on my phone. Best decision ever. Guys, we've got 30 seconds to go. Let me know the most powerful thing you've got from these lives. It would be really great to hear. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, hit us up with a direct message. Let us know if we've had some impact for you. I put so much effort into this. I hope you guys have got a lot out for it. Big love. Keep doing you. Instagram, I'm going to say bye right now. Love is to Instagram. Thank you so much for your time and energy, gang. Right. we just ended the Instagram live video. Facebook has just asked. How exciting. So Facebook, hit me up with a comment. Let me know the biggest things that you took away. It would be lovely to hear. Yeah, please share this if you enjoyed it. Like I said, all 4 lives work together so that we have the 7-step the 7-step process. Okay, and trust me, if you follow it, it will work for you. I use it a lot. And what you'll find is you don't even have to often get to 7. You do 1 or 2, or a bit of 1 or a bit of 2. You work back on your drivers, or you think about your beliefs. The 7 steps is absolute belt and braces. You do those 7 steps, there's no way you can't be motivated. So if you're still feeling like you haven't taken action, re-watch all of the lives, 1, 2, 3 and this one, until you start to. Because ultimately, if you're someone that you feel you need someone else to motivate you, I don't mind being that person, but ultimately understand the real thing that I want is to teach you how to do it for yourself. Nothing would give me more joy, okay, than you to come to me and go, I've stopped watching your motivation lives, I don't need to, I've got all the information, I'm having more fun in my life, I'm having more joy because I'm following your 7 steps, and they keep me on track, they keep me empowered, they keep me inspired, and I can do it myself. That's all I want. I just want you guys to lead happier lives, and if I can help a little bit with that and just share what works for me, and yeah, and what works for other urban striders, and hopefully it will work for you guys too. Listen, thank you everybody for tuning in. It's been amazing, really enjoyed it, and until next time, remember to share this if you want to, if you feel it's been giving you real benefit, and hit me up as well in the messages, in the direct messages. We're on all socials, and let me know what your favorite thing was, what you took away, also what you want to achieve maybe, and how it might have helped you. Let us know. It's really important to me that we I make sure that you guys are using this information. I think that's really important, so do let me know. We've had some beautiful messages and stories in so far. So it's 7:02, gang. That's it. Big lovage. Hope you have a fantastic week. Not sure what we're doing for lives moving forward, but for right now, if you have any ideas, hit us up in the messages. We'll be back to doing classes and all sorts of crazy stuff live after September, as you can imagine, so it's going to be awesome. We'll see you then. Big love.